Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez.
And I'm Kevin Friel. We'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website. Log on at www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
On this edition of Barnstable Today, we proudly present a first look at Barnstable This Morning, a brand new program debuting in January right here on Channel 18. The show, which will air live weekdays from 7:30 to 9 a.m., is packed with unique insight and perspective on the town's most important issues, direct from top officials within town and state government. Of course, the wastewater issue and the Citizens Advisory Committee tasked with coming up with solutions to it will be discussed in depth. Sure. Obviously this issue is an incredibly broad issue. And I think that a lot of people may have the idea that this was spawned because of what has become a fairly heated debate over the specific project, which is relatively small in comparison to what you just described, and that project, of course, being the Stewart's Creek sewer expansion project. How much of this initiative to form this committee was informed by that debate, and how much of a focus is that specific project in terms of what the CAC will ultimately end up doing?
I think it's related but separate. It certainly is a piece of what we need to look at under that wastewater category for sewer expansion. I mean, this project you refer to, Stewart's Creek, is within the Lewis Bay watershed. We know that's one of the two that aren't complete yet, but we do know the draft report showing that it's overloaded. Sewering helps to significantly reduce the nutrient load. So, but that isn't the motive for the Citizens Advisory Group. As you initially stated, this is a much larger issue for our community, and it's really focused on the broader implementation plan that's going to be developed. I do believe Stewart's Creek is significant in itself, and certainly the financial issues that have been brought forward by the residents in our community as a whole are being reviewed and addressed under, I think, a separate process from this Citizens Advisory Committee for the Comprehensive Water Management Plan.
Sure. Okay. Now, in terms of a timetable, Mark, I know at the meeting you had said 18 months, but that's flexible in terms of the committee's work, I understand.
It is, and I think it depends on how much detail they want to get into on the work that's been done so far. We had a Citizens Advisory Group for the Comprehensive Wastewater Management Plan we have for our Hyannis Water Pollution Control Facility. And the issues evolve, and some of them can be moved through quickly, and some of them take a long time. And in that particular study, sometimes we had to go back to the state, and they actually had to relook at their policies because we were challenging them with things like innovative technologies and the approval of those. It's not all about treatment plants sometimes. It's about how can we do things most cost effectively that get us to the end. And so, we challenge the state with policy changes, which you can imagine take quite a while. And so our Citizens Advisory Group stayed active right through the entire process through approval. And it was a very beneficial committee because it always gave us a broader and in most cases non-technical view.
We'll highlight services available to residents of all ages and hard-working town employees and volunteers who bring them to you.
You have a team of volunteers who do really, really important work for the seniors in our community all year round. And I know that recently you became a distribution site for the Greater Boston Food Banks program called the Brown Bag Program. Can you talk to me about that program and how it works?
Yeah, this was a wonderful development for us, and it was really through the persistence and hard work of Claudia Borden, who was one of our outreach workers. She had approached the Greater Boston Food Bank probably about 2 years ago, and it took this long to get a commitment from them. We are the 13th, I believe, the 13th site in Massachusetts that partners with them to bring the Brown Bag Program, and we're the first town on the Cape, so we're very happy, to sort of, model the way there.
It's fantastic,
basically, what it does is every month the Boston Food Bank provides food, and it's what we do is we assemble the food. The food is delivered, in many, many boxes, and we have to unpack, unload everything. We use our vans to go pick it up. It's actually delivered to Harwich, and then we pick it up from Harwich, bring it back to the senior centre, it's quite a feat, to be honest with you, because we have to empty all the boxes out, set up tables. We have a team of about 20 volunteers that have come in, and basically what we do, it's like an assembly line. We pack bags, and we have about 200 seniors that are on our list. And this is why the program is so wonderful. It provides a supplemental, nutritious bag of food once a month to them, and it's no small bag. I mean, it's a very substantial bag of food. It has meat, it has pasta, it has frozen fruit. It's basically like going to the grocery store and getting a week's worth of groceries.
Our weekly guests, like Town Clerk Linda Hutchenrider, will have plenty of important information to share to help you stay civically engaged. We still have another election coming up on January 19th, and that one, of course, will send a new U.S. Senator to Washington. What are some things that people should know about registering to vote in this town and making sure that they're eligible to cast ballots for important votes like that?
Sure. If someone right now is living in the town of Barnstable and they're not a registered voter, they need to come into my office or pick up a mail-in voter registration form at one of the local libraries and get it into us by the 30th of December.
Okay.
And that will put them on the list for January 19th. If, however, you are already a registered voter, and if you haven't moved or you haven't transferred your address in any way, shape, or form, you're all set. You go to the polls and you can vote. But people need to remember that in Massachusetts we have two mandates, and one of them deals with the Federal Motor Voter Act, and you must confirm on a yearly basis that you are a registered voter and you're still at the same address. And that confirmation comes out with our annual census. So it's not just counting the people in your household, it's literally confirming all registered voters in that household as well. So the census will be going out in January, and it's a very important thing for people to respond to that census. If people have come into their household or left their household, or if they have moved, they need to make those adjustments on the form and send it back to us so that their voter registration will stay active.
And of course, when it comes to big announcements in the town, Barnstable This Morning will have them first.
Now, Senator, I'm eager to get to your thoughts on some of the work that was done by the Senate this past session. But before we get to that, we've heard some rumblings, and I guess now it's true that the money to repair the Barnstable Harbor bulkhead is on the way. And this is pretty big news for us here in the town. What can you tell us about it?
My understanding is the governor is going to be here Monday afternoon, and we're going to go down to Barnstable Harbor, and he's going to announce that the state is contributing, I think it's well over $3 million to the project. So,
well, that's excellent.
I think 75% of the funding. I believe that's. I'm not absolutely sure of all those numbers, but it's going to make it happen.
One of the best aspects of Barnstable This Morning is our consistent weekly schedule, where information about a particular town department will be available at the same time on the same day each week. For example, if you want to hear about the latest happenings in Barnstable schools, Superintendent Dr. Patricia Grenier will join us each Monday. If you're looking for something to do on the weekend, we'll talk to Recreation Director David Curley each Friday. Of course, another great aspect of the show is my co-host, Kevin Friel. He's going to keep you up to date throughout the program.
That's right, Nick. I'll be featuring news stories from around the town in Cape Cod, plus a roundup of local sporting events and regular weather updates. Also, along with Nick, I'll be taking a daily look ahead at numerous town events, activities, and meetings.
Well, that's all the time we have for now. For Kevin Friel, I'm Nick Cortez, hoping you'll join us for the debut of Barnstable This Morning, Monday, January 4th at 7:30 a.m., and every weekday thereafter at the same place, at the same time, right here on Channel 18.